Hello everyone and welcome to another Explorer video. So today we're going to be looking at an Orzhov vampire. The contrary to the Grixis vampire that I've done and the Rakdos vampire that I've done with Kikijiki, I think there's a lot going for Orzhov vampire that makes it a little bit more aggressive. And with the introduction of Evelyn in the set, Orzhov vampire suddenly doesn't look too bad compared to the Rakdos version being able to play the Kikijiki. So let's take a closer look at the deck to see what the deck is about. So this is the Orzhov vampire list that I'm going to be trying out today. The vampire's been around for a long time now, so I'm not going to go over every single card. So I'm just going to talk about Evelyn the Covetous and what she does, and going to talk about some strong interactions you can expect with the card. So let's take a closer look at the card. So this is Evelyn. It's a 5-mana card, legendary creature. Interestingly enough, it has flash for a vampire card, and with the hybrid mana cost, you can play this card in a mono black deck. Of course, we're going to be playing Orzhov here. So it's a 5-mana 2/5. If herself or another vampire enters the battlefield under your control, exile the top card of each player's library with the collection counter on it. And once each turn, you may play a card from exile with the collection counter on it if it was exiled by an ability you controlled. And you can cast this card if it were mana of any color. So essentially, you get to play a free card every single turn that was exiled from top of your deck or your opponent's deck. So in that sense, it's kind of similar to Tybalt, as long as you can play a vampire each turn. And we know how strong Tybalt is, so you can kind of expect the same level of power from this card. Because this card has flash, and we're also playing Wandering Emperor, which also has flash, if you have 5 mana up, so now you get an option to splash in either Evelyn and Wandering Emperor, which is pretty powerful, and having more option is really good. And another interaction that I want to talk about is Edgar. So if the Edgar is in the coffin state, it generates a vampire token every single turn. So that would mean that if Evelyn is on the battlefield, you get a collection counter at the end of your opponent's turn. So even if you don't have any vampires in your hand, you will always get Evelyn to proc off of Edgar coffin that way, which is also really good. And to get the Edgar into a coffin, you do have to kill your own Edgar somehow, and well, that's pretty easy for us because we do have the Sorin. We can just sacrifice the Edgar that way. So it's a pretty strong card, but however, it is a 5-mana card and it is a legendary creature. So we don't want too many of it since this 5-mana slot is competing with Champion of Dusk. So unfortunately, I think the right amount of number is actually either 2 to 3. And before making this video, I actually tested out Elspeth. And I had very high expectations of Elspeth. You have 22 permanents that you can search with Elspeth, including Sorin as well. So that's really powerful. In an ideal world where you resolve Elspeth and then you get a Sorin down, that's really powerful, right? But apparently that's not good enough. I've been losing quite a lot, and what ended up happening was that it was a little bit too slow. The value generation was just not there for a 5-mana card, but from my testing, Evelyn was just a better card for this deck compared to Elspeth, so I had to cut Elspeth, otherwise I wasn't gonna win any games. So let's move on to the sideboard, since we're done talking about the main board. So as for the sideboard, we're gonna be playing 2 copies of Ray of Enfeeblement. So although we don't have Winota anymore, there's still a lot of Greasefang decks, and Greasefang deck is a deck to beat, so you definitely want 2 copies of Ray of Enfeeblement in your sideboard if you're playing black. And then we're playing 2 copies of Badonto Vanguard. So this is another perk that you have if you play white, is that you get to play with Badonto Vanguard in the sideboard against control decks. And then you play 1 copy of Go Blank as a form of Graveyard Hate and card advantage. Then you got 2 copies of Crippling Fear against non-vampire decks. Then you have 2 more Thoughtseizes in the deck against control decks and perhaps against tempo decks. Then you got 1 copy of Infernal Grasp to deal with cards that can't be answered with Fatal Push. Then you also have 1 more copy of Power Word Kill. We do play 1 copy of Power Word Kill in the main board, but this is just a good card to answer any threats that you can't answer with Fatal Push without the big drawback, such as the 2 life that you would lose with Infernal Grasp. And then we play a copy of Fracture. This is a kind of like a flex spot that can answer Artifact, Enchantment, and Planeswalkers at the same time. And then we play 2 copies of Unlicensed Hearse against Greasebank decks. And lastly, we have 1 more copy of Edgar Charmed Groom, and you want to bring this in against heavy removal decks or decks that are very grindy. But that's all for now. I do really like the look of the deck, and I would really liked it if I could have played Elspeth in this deck. But in Explorer format, I think it's a little bit too slow. But as always, if you've enjoyed the video so far, leave a like, comment below, and we're going to be jumping into best out of 3 ranked to see how the deck does. So if you're interested, stick around. Otherwise, I'll see you all later. Bye bye. Okay, well, that's a mulligan. That's a keep. This is probably an aggro deck, I wanted to say, but seems like it's not. Yeah, at least our hand is kind of Thoughtseize protected, so that's a good sign. Our hand is... Well, I wanted to say Thoughtseize protected, but not anymore. Oh. What do they have? Why did they skip that? So they have a Fatal Push, but they chose to use Claim the Firstborn instead. I mean, honestly, if you only draw lands, you can't win a game of Magic. So Crippling Fear seems good. Power Kill seems good. Infernal Grasp seems good. Thoughtseize seems good. Go Blank seems good. Unlicensed Hearse seems good. We're gonna get rid of all the Legion Lieutenants. We're also gonna be getting rid of all the Knight of the Ebon Legions. The last card to get rid of. Maybe an Aetherborn. Okay, finally a hand without too many lands. That is a good sign. That's a card. So get rid of Nixilis. I don't know why they brought Nixilis against a creature matchup. Like, even if they get Nixilis off, like, it's not even that good. Right? Sacrifice a Planeswalker. I guess we just pass here. I wanna Wandering Emperor on their turn. Okay. Young Pyro. Sacrifice a creature. I'm gonna do it like this. Because I value the Gifted Etherborn a lot more. Now, I could Crippling Fear this, but I don't need to.
I have got new moves to teach you.
I'm gonna flash in Evelyn. And then Crippling Fear on my turn. Okay, this is perfect. This is perfect. Okay, flash in Evelyn. Village Rites. Okay. And we're gonna Crippling Fear. Non-vampires. Roxa. That is a card.
Guards, to me.
They could Croxa here, but doesn't really do much, in my opinion. Get rid of Etherborn. Then we'll sacrifice this. See, they have 13 cards. I can flash in another Wandering Emperor if I wanted to. Maybe we'll get a land. Nice. Okay, we won. Okay, so it's good that they didn't see my unlicensed hearse. I think we'll just go with this. Ooh. We just need a land, and we're good. Can we get a land? Nice. That's actually so perfect. That is so good. Dreadhorde Arcanist, okay. Okay, since we got double Sorin, I'm not gonna be hesitant about doing this. Yeah, that's actually so good. You know, I don't mind flinging my Edgar to a Dreadhorde Arcanist here. I don't mind that at all. Looks like they have okay. I'm still gonna do it. Flame. And fame that. Interesting. So Soren's dying anyways. We'll just do this.
We must protect the people.
And interesting. I think we need to kill the Dreadhorde Arcanist here. Let's create another 2/2.
Keep watch for intruders.
Okay, so we need to get rid of Young Pyromancer. Young Pyro needs to die.
Until next time, then.
Another Dreadhorde Arcanist. Is it a vampire? Yes. So we'll kill the Dreadhorde Arcanist again. Okay. Honestly, Edgar is carrying me so hard. It's just doing so much work. Yep. Edgar goes then back into the coffin. We also got an Evelyn coming out. Honestly, this combo is pretty insane. Are they trying... Wait, what is this? He was dealt non-damage damage this turn, okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good card. I must say so myself. This should be over though. This should be over. Evelyn gives me a vampire token and also gives me another trigger on the Evelyn. I mean, Edgar. That's just GG, I guess. So good. This combo is so insane. Like, wow. Pretty insane. Let's not be too greedy here. Got another Evelyn. I'm actually digging this deck. Evelyn plus Wandering Emperor is so good. Might as well, right? Wow. Wow. Okay. Not a bad hand. Could be better. Could be better. No way to lose 4 life here, right? Yeah. They have Fatal Push. Frickin' Fatal Push. Oh, we got a mirror match. Mirror match. Okay, deck, I would like a land off top, please. That'd be very, very nice. Nice. Let's see how my opponent deals with an Edgar. Okay, Edgar is dealt with. I mean, they're not gonna sacrifice themselves, right? Like, it's just not gonna happen. Okay, how do I get rid of that? How? At least opponent doesn't have much right now. Really, they want to sacrifice a Rankle. I mean, okay, I mean, sure. I will gladly sacrifice my Edgar? Like, hello? What? Huh? Okay, that was just not worth it, right? That's just not worth it. Okay, so I'm thinking about doing Soren, giving this buff to 5, so I get 5 lifelink here, which puts me at 13. This is gonna ping me for 1. Each player's turn, so 2. So that's 11. This deals damage to me 4. That's 7, and if I Thoughtseize, I go down to 5. Okay, that's why they did it.
I bestow a mighty curse.
So even with a haster, they can't kill me. Okay. It's not a mirror match, it's a mono black aggro. Mono black aggro. So interestingly enough, Crippling Fear does not deal with their Knight of the Ebon Legion. They also have Gifted Etherborn. Rankle is 3 toughness. But Spawn of Mayhem isn't. Also, Spawn of Mayhem is a demon, so my Power Word Kill doesn't work. That's kind of awkward. That is kind of awkward. But it should deal with everything else. Yeah, Spawn of Mayhem is the scariest card, huh? We have Murderous Rider, Infernal Grasp to deal with it. We also have Wandering Emperor. Maybe it's not that bad. So in this matchup, Edgar performed really well here. Kind of want more. Maybe like that. I'm not sure about Thoughtseize. They're an aggro deck. Like, I don't want to take too much damage. I think this is good. This is good. This is good. Unlicensed Hearse is kind of interesting. They probably have a bunch of cards that come back from the graveyard to the battlefield, but if they're using mana on that, I think I'm okay with that. Probably the best card in this matchup. Gifted Etherborn. Okay, let's take a look at this hand. So right now, opponent only has 2 mana. I think the best card to get rid of is Power Word Kill. So that my Gifted Etherborn sticks. Okay, so they did not get a land, which is really, really good. Let's play another Gifted Etherborn. I actually made a mistake. I should have played this card Godless Shrine instead, because I need double white. We're only gonna attack with 1. So Evelyn's coming down, which is really good. But they also have Murderous Rider, which is really bad. Interesting. I want my opponent to kind of tap out here. Interesting. I need this Evelyn to stick. I also don't have anything to play in my hand, so I'm gonna attack with a single Gifted Etherborn to see if they take the bait and play their Murderous Rider. Okay. That's fine. I need to hold up this Evelyn in case they play Liliana. This is good. This is really good. Interesting. Oh, no, they were respecting the hive. Okay. Well, obviously this is really good for me. I have infinite lands. They call me the landlord. Ooh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. So that puts me back into this game. We'll attack with Evelyn. Goes back to daytime. Just so good. Evelyn is so good. What can I say?